Andrew demonstrates them. This instructional video on the Sport Above Zero trials was shot on location in Kansas City, Missouri and Tulsa, Oklahoma, while Andrew was over here from Spain on a trial school tour. This training video will take you from the basic setup of the trials motorcycle and the basic riding techniques to the most advanced world competition level techniques. Learning to do a technique which requires many simultaneous coordination inputs to make the bike respond in a certain manner can sometimes be difficult to learn as quickly as one would desire. You will have to watch the example in the video many times and totally commit it to memory so that when you are out practicing, you can see the technique in your mind as you are practicing it. It takes time and a lot of practice to perfect the advanced maneuvers, but just keep at it and don't give up, and eventually you will succeed. That's just a part of the fun and rewards of this sport. One more very important item is safety gear. Always, but always, wear a helmet when you go out to ride. Knee pads and elbow pads should also be a personal safety requirement. These are the three areas on the body that are the most vulnerable when riding accidents occur. So, be smart and protect yourself properly. Now, enjoy the video and be sure you practice as much as you can.
Hi, I am Andrew Codina. Welcome to my trials school. I have a lot of experience after 10 years riding in the World Championship. For that, Action Video bring me the possibility to make this video for you and show how is the European techniques at the moment. Follow the instructions in this video and practice constantly. I hope you learn a lot. Thank you very much. Take care and enjoy yourself. First of all, we will talk about the setup of the bike. The setup of the bike is important that every rider knows how to do. And it's important that all the commands are in the right place. If not, we cannot try to do the techniques that we show on the video. We will start with the handlebar. The handlebar, like you will see in my bike, is perpendicular to the ground. This is very important because makes you easy to turn and makes you easy to kill him and go and heel down, and you have better straight down direction. About how long is my handlebar? The production handlebars, normally they are 83 or 84 centimeters. For that, I made shorter than mine, and I cut that right now it's 80 centimeters. I do that because I have more agility and it's more fast when I make turns. About the front brake lever and the clutch lever, it must be in the place, in the middle place that you can, when you downhill, you have the chance to take them very, very quickly. And when you make a hill, you have the chance to work with them. Like you will see, many people lose the balls of the levers because when they crash, they have the chance to unbroken the lever. For that, maybe it's good if you want to save some money, but maybe you have some problems when you ride on a climb, and you can push with your fingers into the levers and the levers go down. So that maybe takes away your concentration and it's almost a big problem. About my grips, the rubber grips, like you will see, I always cut the end of the rubber grip. I do that because when you crash, it's much more difficult to broken. This looks a simple thing, but it's very important. If we talk about the throttle control is very important because it's like you have your rear wheel in your right hand. So for that, it's very important how you fix. If the throttle control is too loose, or if your throttle control is too stiff, might you have some problems. If it's too stiff, when you turn with the handlebar, sometimes the bike it rips. And if it's too loose, you might not have good feeling of the rear wheel. So to have a good feeling of the rear wheel is very important for the traction and for the grip of the rear wheel. If we talk about the front suspension, like you will know, I think the front suspension produces air. Every 4 or 5 hours riding, it's important that you take away the air from the suspension. If you don't take away the front suspension air, may you have some troubles because the seals may be leaking, and also the front suspension it comes more stronger because it has more air pressure. We follow with the front wheel. The tire pressure is very important. If we don't make any importance to the tire pressure, we are very wrong. In grams, the tire pressure on the front has to be 400 or 450. That depends on how is the weight of the rider, or how wet is the terrain. So normally, when more mud or more slippery is the terrain, more low has to be the pressure. In the back wheel, the pressure must be 350 when we ride on the dry conditions, and 300 or 320 grams when we ride on the slippery conditions. I repeat again, tire pressure is very important. It's also important that you must look the pressure each lap on the race, because depends on what kind of terrain you ride, the pressure may change, and it's important that you control the pressure very, very properly. If we talk about the suspensions, it's important that the setup of the suspensions has to be very sensible at the beginning. If you feel my rear suspension, I can feel it very, very, very smooth at the beginning. This is very important for the grip and the traction. Also the front fork, you see, it's very, very smooth at the beginning. And if you see both suspensions, you will see that if I press on the center of the bike, they work all together. That's very good, because when you drive over the rocks, you always get a good balance and the bike always go horizontal. It's the most important things to set up the bike. It's other things like the air filter cleaning or the carburetor cleaning or the carburation setup, that are more complicated things and more mechanical things. I think that you must take care about what I'm saying and try that the techniques what we explain on the video will be with the bike same as the setup I have in mind. Now we will talk about the position of your foot. Your riders always drive with the position with the footrest on the middle of the foot. And today riders, they always ride with the front of the foot on the footrest. This is very much better because the knees and the ankles makes much more suspension, and it keeps you directionality of the bike. So you can work much better with your body when you are into the bike. So like you see, we have much more possibilities to move when we are in the bike. Next, we will review the basic turns. In the turns, the most important thing is that your body goes to the external part of the turn. Your knees are bent, and then you must look into the front, not to the front wheel. You need to have one finger in the front brake and one finger into the clutch to control the bike. And then coordinate all the movements. The bike has to balance between your needs. When we want to make a turn, it's important that you always put your body on the external part. You open your knees and the bike goes into the in part, in the inside, and the body into the outside part. So I will show you with the bike, and then I will explain again. See, my knees are bent. I change to the other side. My looking is look to the front. I have one finger onto the front brake and one finger to the clutch to control the bike, okay? I go to the outside part, my body goes to the outside part and the bike inside. The bike has to move. See? Everybody understand? Any question about it? No?
On a flat surface like that, you're actually braking the front brake and not the rear.
Well, I always use more my front brake than the rear but we can use also the rear brake also if you want. That's not really important. But the problem is, when it's flat, it's okay to use the rear brake, but maybe you are in a turn that after it's going a big step, so you need to have the... Also without clutch and without brake, but you know, this is more usual to use like this in the sections. My knees goes to the external part. You see, I'm gonna make a turn here. Down. We're going to review a little bit of the basic turns. I think somebody has asked about the downhill turns and how to do the downhill turns, where to put the weight of your body, how to do with the brakes. Okay, you must know that the main thing for the downhill turns is that you must take care of your brakes and your clutch. You must have control completely of your commands when you go down, because sometimes people don't use the front brake. Sometimes people don't use the clutch, and you must know that you must try that when you go down, the wheels don't slip. I mean, sometimes you need that the real wheel slip to cross the bike. But I mean, we go downhill. Okay, if you only brake with the rear brake, the main problem is if you don't use a clutch, you can stop the bike. And if you use the clutch, maybe you brake the rear brake and the rear wheel stops, and you go down like if you don't brake anything. So the best thing, the brake for stop the bike is the front brake, and the rear brake we use to keep the direction of the bike. So I mean, if you go down and you stop the bike with the front brake, so to stop the speed is the front brake. But if you want to for example, the downhill is like this, and you want that the bike goes onto the left side, you turn the handlebar a little bit to the left side, then you stop the rear wheel. Normally the bike goes a little bit to the right. You understand what I mean?
Slide.
Yes, slides to the right. So this is in mud. It's not good to do. But I mean, when it's sometimes when it's dry, it's good to know this technique. Then you must take care of your body. Your body always has to be on the back, and always the weight on the outside part. Okay. Then one thing that is good to know is that sometimes the downhills, okay, when you arrive to the end, to the bottom end, it's maybe it's a 90 degrees angle, you know. And the main thing is that you must take care that when the front wheel touch to the ground, the suspension must be completely extended, you know, have all the trouble to work, so they make smooth your landing. How to do that? Normally, what you should do is go slow to the downhill, and then when you nearly arrive to the end, just pull a little bit the clutch, okay, and just try that the front wheel goes 40 centimeters into the front, and that makes the front suspension, it goes up, and when you touch to the ground, it makes your landing softer. You understand what I mean? So that is a very important thing that everybody should know. So I will try to do first the downhill with the turn, and you see how I use the front brake and how I use the clutch, how I use the rear brake. Then I will try to make a little bit slide, but in the mud maybe it's going to be a little bit difficult. And then I will show you when I arrive to the end. This is very, very simple, but I will show you how to do to get the trouble of the fork completely extended. You see that the two wheels don't brake. The problem is a very simple place to do that, but yeah, I think you understand that when for example, when you cross and this way and you want to turn, you must put your knee on the outside, turn the handlebar, and then you have the control of the bike, you have the control of the direction. Then you have to slow down, slow motion, go down, and try that never stop the front wheel. If you stop the front wheel, normally it's a very critical part, and sometimes it slips and you get a 5. And it's very important that if your body is not in the right place, what it happens sometimes is like you are like this and the bike it crawls like this. You understand? So you must take your care that your body is completely in the outside, and the bike works in a very good direction. Because if it's too much inside, the problem is that it completely closes, and then you fall down. here is if I go like this, understand? Any question about this? I think you understand exactly that you must take care of your position of your body to keep the balance and to try that the bike goes on the right position to not make any problem to crash on the downhills. Downhills are easy, but normally what I see on the novice people, the main thing that they crash is because they have no determination to do. Okay, downhills, if you know exactly the technique, there is not a big problem. It's just to say to the bike what way it has to go. But because the bike normally it goes in the way but you want to go, but you want that the bike go. So it's very easy. The only thing is you must know everything how to do. Then you need to have determination. I also have many problems sometimes when the downhills are big, but normally it's no problem. In Europe we have downhills that after when we go down, the handlebar is maybe ½ centimeter lower. Yes, sure. Now the best is we start with the turns. I think the position of on the bike and where you have to looking, I think this is clear. Everybody, I think, should remember from now to the end of the to lunchtime or to the end of the school that the needs, the position of the body has to be loose and where he has to look. So it has to look 2 or 3 meters before. So this is very important that people remember from now to the end of the school, because these things, it's for all the techniques. So this is a very important thing. The way to make turns, normally it's the turns we can move the front wheel. We go with the wheel on the ground, but the best is that you start to make the turns with the wheel on the ground, and then you can move when you make the turn easy. The way to make the turn with the wheels on the ground, you must put your body on the outside, the exterior side of the turn. So you know, normally when it's a turn into the left, you must open your knees, put the bike into your left knee, and with this foot press the footrest. So you have more traction on the rear wheel, then you have more balance. You balance because the bike is on one side and your body is in the other side. You balance with the right foot. Then it's important that you see on the front again and have a good precision on the throttle control, because if you make more gas than is normal, the bike normally it goes straight on, and if your body is not on the right level, so the bike on the left side and your body on the right side, if you are nearly straight on, the bike goes also straight on. So many people say, "Oh, my bike don't turns well," And this is because the position of the body between the bike has to be on the right side. So this is very important. Press always the footrest who is in the exterior side of the turn. The section for the beginners, it will be this way. When the back wheel starts to come here, you must turn the bike and you put your body on this side, open your knees, and when the front wheel is here, you start to close a little bit the gas. It's important that you make the turn, but when you make the turn, you have to think on the next obstacle. I don't know how to say the next obstacle. So when you make the turn, you have to finish the turn on the better position to go to the next obstacle. So it's important that you make the easiest you can to arrive to the end of the turn under the better position. So you go this way, and here when you turn, sometimes people think, okay, I have to make clean, then they arrive here and it's a 5. Sometimes it's better to maybe make one dab and arrive to the next obstacle in better position. But if you can do this right, you have to think where you have to go to take this line, the better line for the next one. So in this turn, it's a very easy turn. You don't have to think on the turn. This exactly. You have to think on the next turn. So you go better this way and put your front wheel here. Then here is very open and then close very quickly. So you can have more straight on, because most of the people comes this way and then cannot turn on the left side. So it's more difficult. So then it's easier that you turn and then here try to be open and then close very quickly and go straight on. And for that it's important that when you are here, you must look on the next turn. You understand what I mean? So you have to think on the future a little bit. You must look onto the top. I think today riding you need very good balance, and it's important that everybody knows the best way to balance, because many people he wants to balance and he balances very good, but the position of his body into the bike is very bad. But if he don't have the right position of his body on the bike, and if he don't have the right position for the balancing, cannot make all the stuff, all the sections he wants to make of all the rocks. So, like you will see, the position of my body is very loose. So I have very mobility, do you say? Very. It's very easy to move the bike in this position. So many people ride like this, very stiff. You must have. This has to be in the straight line. Then with the arms not like this. No, the arms has to be straight on also. There must be a very loose position, very smooth movements also. You have to have the possibility to make very smooth movements. And other thing to talk is many riders, he always looking into the front wheel, and this is totally wrong. Because if you look through your front wheel, the problem you have is you always look just the rocks who is before your front wheel. So and sometimes, well, sometimes nearly all the times, it's necessary that you look about 2 or 3 meters before you, because when you arrive to the obstacle that you see in 2 or 3 meters, your mind, your brain knows what to do, you know. So for the balance, like if you do everything that I do, it's just turn the handlebar and be very loose. You see, my knees work, my foot work, I had the front brake. That's all. Just look in the front. You see? That's all. The only thing you need is have a very, very, very loose, very, very smooth movements. So if you make a very strong movement, it's not good. Just smooth movements. You need to work all the time. You see? So just this. Also you can practice. If you want to practice balancing in stop, you can practice when you know to do that. You try to do like this and change the handle. This is real difficult, but then also you can try to do it with the straight on. So it's a little difficult, but it's good for practice. So when you are in your garage in the winter time when it's snow, you can practice this. Okay.
When you're stopped at a section and balanced, you're not using the rear brake.
Sometimes depends on what is going to be. Normally I use the rear brake to move the bike if I have to move the bike, you know. But then when I will start to make, for example, it's a step or something, I always lose the rear brake and put the footrest in the right position. It's very important that your body is very loose. You have to have very smooth movements. If you are very stiff, it's always a big problem. The main problem is you need to have confidence with your bike. So you have to know that if you press the clutch, the bike stops, so it's no problem. So you have to be very confident with your bike. You know, today we need very good working on the commands. So for that, we don't take very hard the handlebar. If you take very hard the handlebar, the first what you do is be stiff, you know. So you must be very loose in the handlebar. We can use only one hand or only the fingers to drive. So it's important that the handlebar is only to keep the direction and move it's like the steering. So the main work is your body, the knees, the ankles, the foot, main work. There is two things that I have to explain. One is you never have one day same as the other in balancing. Eh? For me, I have less balance than yesterday. This is sure. I don't know why. Maybe for the foot or for the sleeve. I don't know why. But I think the balance is a thing on your talent. So everybody has his own talent, and everybody has maybe a big difference. I don't know if what we call, but we call that is bad days or good days, you know. But the way that I try to keep the balance, first of all, it's the normal balancing. It's stopping. And then when I have a problem after the stopping, I move the bike to the side that I have the problem, or open the leg or something like this. No, it depends on the space you have. So to keep balancing when you are stopped, first of all, you have to think that you make a turn. So you turn the handlebar to one side. Somebody like more this side, I like more this side, and put the body in the other side. So you push, you turn, you push this, the right one, then goes up. This nearly makes nothing. Understand? It's like this. Understand? This nearly makes nothing. Just push on the right one.
I think a lot of guys rather have their sternum turn like that because of your throttle's easier to work that way too than being.
Yeah, I think it's because the way we do.
Are you holding the front brake?
Yes, I hold in the front way.
Front brake is real important. It helps.
Mm-hmm. Then, for example, if I go this way, I always move back to the side that I go. So, for example, if my balance is going to the right side, I say, okay, I have the balance again. So, with the I balancing, I look at the rock, and I have a problem. Even with the two. But with this one, you don't make nothing. Even with the right hand. Understand?
It works enough.
What happens when you turn the wheels the other way? Does it transfer to the other foot?
Well, this is good practice to do like this. Good practice to try to do like this. Turn the handle to one side to the other. Also, you must try to keep your balance. It's also good practice to keep your balance with the steering like this. Depends on the balance you have. Your style will be in one side or other. For example, Marc Colomer, he rides very slow on the sections, but he has a very good balance. For example, Bossis have a good balance, but he has to ride more fast. Jody has everything good. Many people say, how do you do to move the front wheel? I have to say two things.
Back.
To move the front wheel, for sure you need to keep stronger the handlebar. It's not like I say before when we rode the sections before, but the physical condition is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you coordinate your movements between your gas, your brake, your clutch, and your front suspension. So normally, what I do when I want to move the front wheel, so I'm in balance, so I push the front suspension down, okay? Then when the suspension goes up, I take the power of the rebound to move the front wheel, and I help a little bit with the gas and the clutch. So I will show you. So I'm stop. You see my my clutch. You have to look my clutch, my brakes, and how is the suspension doing, eh? Do you understand?
Your knees are also.
Yes, because when I push the suspension down, I help with all my body, not with only my arms.
Andrew, can you do it without the engine running?
Yeah.
Show them what the body.
Yeah, but I do with the engine because I want to show the people to do with the engine, not only with the physical condition. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, no, not all the time. When I push down, yes, then I leave.
You let off the brake when you're lifting?
Yeah, same on the front.
Okay.
You understand? This is a kind of coordination only. You need for sure to be strong, but this just the coordination. I think if you try on the flat places before you try on the section, it's better. But you must try always to do that. But it's important that you coordinate when you have to take part of the bike. So when the bike goes up, so the suspension goes down, the rebound goes up. When the run is finished, you make the little part of the power of he needs to move. So the half of the power it's made by the bike because with the rebound, and the other part you make it, and also you help a little bit with the gas. You understand?
How about hopping it sideways? A lot of guys can hop the front end up.
Yes.
But to go sideways is very difficult.
So normally, when you want to go to, if I want to go to right side, normally I push and then I put a little bit my body on the side where I want to go.
Butting, we call it.
Yeah. So if I go like this, and I want to move to the right side, move like this, then my body is into the other side. One of the things that I normally do is we have a rock, and the rock, for example, a tree and a tree. And we go to the tree, to the other tree, or for example, to the rock, to another rock. You understand? So it's quite a good practice to do that. For me, this is much help to the trial sections today. So it's a real improve that everybody knows this technique. It's very, very important. So I think it's also that you need is sometimes we move the bike one way, and we don't need to move the bike one way, but we do that to keep the balance. You understand? Because sometimes your balance is going to one side, and if you go to right side and you put the front wheel to the right side, then you are again on the right place. So it's good to know this technique.
When you practice this, do you use your rear brake to keep the bike from moving forward?
When I push the bike, the suspension down, I brake the two brakes, the front and the rear. And when it goes down, I don't brake any.
When it comes back up, you release all the brakes.
Yeah. and I make a little bit of gas. And
So both brakes to compress,
yeah,
release, and
yeah,
gas, and
yeah.
clutch to come back up.
Then if you make too much gas, when the front wheel is up again, you brake again the back one. You understand? When we are in balance, okay, we compress again with our body, with our needs. We compress the rear suspension, okay. Then, when the suspension goes up, we put all the weight we have at the front wheel, okay, all the weight we have. And also, what we should do is, you can move with the rear wheel with balancing, but if you want to make a big moving, it needs maybe some time that you make a little pushing the clutch to the front, then press the bike, and with the inertia you have a bigger movement on the back. So if you want to move just a little bit like this, you can move with in a stop balancing. But if you want to move a lot, you must have a little speed, then press the brake and press the rear suspension and put all your weight on the front wheel, and then move with the arms to the side what you want to go. So no, I just use the clutch when I want to go a little bit. I take a little speed, then I make a little gas, and then I brake everything, and I don't use any clutch. So when I'm stopped.
You don't release the clutch when you kick the rear end over?
No.
Not at all. And the rear brake before you hit the front.
Sorry?
Do you load the rear end before you hit the front
Yes,
brake?
yes. I load this. So, let me start the bike. So, if you want to move the bike, stop. Okay? You have to turn the steering to the opposite side you want to go. If you want to go to the right side, you have to turn the steering to the left side, and the opposite is okay. So if I want to move the bike, stop. I compress, put the weight in the front wheel, okay. But the best for me is to do like this.
That letting your momentum move you? Or are you using part of your leg?
No, I use the part of my leg. I use my legs to lift the rear wheel and then move.
And then you use the inside of the leg?
Yeah.
Kind of like a bicycle?
Yeah, but I use also this part of my body to. So when the bike is like this, you just need a little bit of balancing to one side to go to the side when you want to go.
Like a kid on a bicycle, the same.
Yep. So when the bike is like this, the first difficult part is move the bike like this, okay?
Yeah.
When you have the when you have the bike like this, okay? If you go just a little bit on this side, the bike go like this. So it's like an inertia, you know. So if you have the handlebar in one side, you know, it goes always to the side where you turn. So if you turn like this, the bike goes like this, and if you do like this, the bike goes the opposite side.
Well, what's the rear brake doing? I can never see it.
Nothing. Just when you are stopped, when the bike landing again, push the rear brake. That's all I do. Many people, like he say, use the clutch to move and maybe in your bike, it is many bikes has, not many, the Aprilia for example, and the Merlin also, has, they have the front sprocket and the swinging arm axle in a different position. So the problem is when you open the gas, and when you open the gas, the suspension goes like this. So, and this is bad for for some things, but for that is good because when you do like this, it helps you to move, But not in my bike, and even not in the Beta, and even not with the Fantic. Understand?
Yeah. Are you on your rear shock? Do you need a lot of spring, or just a medium amount of spring to get it up?
Right now with the model like this, maybe I need to have a little bit more spring. But
on dry, about medium.
For some tricks it's better to have the shock like this. But some tricks you must look for that the shock goes well in every place. Well, soft, I mean soft at the beginning, and at the end you must feel hard. Eh? The bottom end must be hard. It must be, for that we call progressive suspensions. They are if you have never seen the linkage of this suspension, they go very slow at the beginning, and then when they arrive to the end, they go very fast. So it's like a line, mimic whop like this.
Do you feel yourself bottoming and bouncing off of that rubber?
Sorry?
Do you feel yourself bouncing that rear suspension off that bottom rubber?
Depends on the rubber you use. In this one is a little bit softer. I cannot feel it. It's like because I touch, the linkage make like this and goes very fast. Then when it goes very fast, it keeps strong. And in my suspension, when the linkage starts to go fast, okay, and then a little bit after it goes to touch the rubber. So it's like a progression, If the linkage goes slow and then it goes to the rubber when it's slow, for sure I can feel it. I think the easy way to start to learn the turns is on the hills. On a hillside, and try to do the 180 grade. Okay, so it is many ways to turn on a hillside with one wheel, with both wheels, with only one foot, with the wheel on the ground. We can do many times, but I think the best we can try today is to try with one wheel to make in a short space as possible to make the 180 grades. For that, what we should do in second gear is going up, and the best we can do is make a wheelie and put your body onto the side you want to go. So you put the wheelie and then you must see on the back. So it's like you see in the back and then the bike it goes. So you change your body from the inside to the outside. You understand what I mean? So it's like you open the wheelie, put your body inside, looking to the side where you want to go, and then change the position to the other side. So you get the balance. You understand it? So I will show you. You must balance the bike inside of your body. So if you want to balancing very quickly, you must open your knee. If your body is not on the inside, you will need more space to make the turn. You can do with your body on the side of parallel to the bike, but then you need more space. So to make shorter, you need to balance the bike from the inside to the outside. You understand?
Let's review some of these trick turns that Andrew has been demonstrating, starting with this one. This is not your basic turn by all means, but a rather complicated one which is necessary in this situation to stay within the confines of the section. This type of turn would only be found in the advanced classes such as Expert or Master. As Andrew comes up the incline, he starts to unload the suspension of the bike forward while twisting his body to the left. At the same time, he accelerates. As the bike leaves the ground, his twisting body turns the bike to the left, and as it lands, he pulls the clutch and stops, in balance. Now he is ready for the next part of the section. Most all of the trick turns are started with the bike in a stopped and balanced position, but here Andrew is demonstrating a nose wheelie turn which is started with the bike moving. Select the point on the ground where you want to start the turn, then as the front wheel gets to that spot, simultaneously turn the handlebars in the direction you want to turn, pull in the clutch, apply the front brake, and unload your body forward and slightly to the outside of the turn, and you will feel the back end of the bike come up and pivot over to the outside of the turn. The amount of turn you achieve here depends upon your speed, how hard you apply the front brake, and how much you unload forward with your body. This type of turn is easier to learn and should be practiced first before you start trying it from a stopped and balanced condition like Andrew is doing now. With the bike stopped, this turn is a bit harder to do because of the absence of forward speed and the requirement of keeping your balance on the bike both before and after completion of the maneuver. Here Andrew is holding the front brake on. He turns his handlebars a bit in the direction of the turn he wants, then he loads and unloads the suspension with his legs. While unloading, his body motion is up and slightly to the outside of the turn, and the inner part of his boots grip the frame just a bit to help lift the back of the bike up and over to come down right under his body. In other words, your body has to end up right over the bike, or you will have to take a dab to regain your balance. You can also use just a blip of the throttle and pop the clutch when you start to unload the suspension. This drives the bike forward by compressing the front forks and makes it a little easier to lift the back end. But this won't work if the front wheel is on a slippery surface. Front wheel hops are easier to learn and are the preferred way to make a tight turn in a section because they are easier to control. A good way to learn to do this is to make a long, straight line on the ground, and as you ride along it slowly in first gear, hop the front wheel from one side to the other of the line. Ride slower and slower while doing this and feel what your body is doing. Then you should be able to stop and balance, and using the clutch and throttle, hop the front wheel one way or the other. Notice how Andrew is doing these hops, and especially notice his legs. He starts the hop by compressing the forks as he bends his knees and lowers his body. Then he pulls diagonally back and up on the bars while he blips the throttle just a little and at the same time pops the clutch. This action causes the front end to come up and over in the direction he was leaning as he pulled on the bars and to drop back down right underneath him. The forward motion of the bike has been canceled out by the backward pull on the bars and the rearward action of his legs and feet on the pegs. Normally, brakes are not needed on level ground to do this properly, but if the bike is facing downhill, they will be necessary. If the bike is facing uphill, position of the bike is held with the clutch and not the rear brake while you do the hops.